Welcome to the stream as always. So today we're going to be taking a look at I got a new controller in, and I'm very excited about it. I had been wanting to get the new Nintendo Switch Online expansion plus pack thing. I don't know exactly if that's what it's called or whatever the case is, but turns out it's got some issues apparently. So I'll be holding off on that for the foreseeable future at least. But I did see this and I had to get it, right? And I got it as soon as it went up for pre-order. Stop. I got the N64 Switch Pro controller. You can see my setup here. Here, I give you a little preview. I got that's what I'm going to be playing on. And then here's my screen where I've got my stuff set up. But I've got this controller here. So we're just going to get into it. This came straight from Nintendo's website, or their online shop. And I think what's interesting is if you can see and you can look at this, it's like just kind of loosely plastic wrapped in here. What's also interesting is that there's like when you would go to the store or something, there's usually like tape on here so you can tell something hasn't been opened. There's no tape or anything. It's just this. And there's also like no UPC on here whatsoever. So definitely you'll never see these in the store. At least not in this kind of form, because there's nothing to ring them up. So, and these are available only to people who have Nintendo Switch Online services. You don't have to have the expansion pack plus to get it, which is cool because obviously I don't have that, as stated before. So, see, here you go. It's in this. It's exactly as big as I remember 64 controllers being. Even though I'm considerably larger than I was back when I was playing a Nintendo 64. I guess. What's up, Ocarina of Time playthrough? Let's go. No, I'm not. I don't have that yet, but I don't have the Nintendo Switch Online Plus. Here's the deal. I don't think it's worth the $50. There's a lot of people that do. More power to them. I think the $20 Nintendo Switch Online thing, I think a lot of people don't think that's a very good deal, but dude, I think it's hella good. I take a lot of stock in cloud saves. When in my old apartment, our building was literally struck by lightning, and it fried my PS4 that I had back then. And luckily, my PS4 was under warranty, and warranty does cover your place being struck by lightning. But to me, I take a lot of stock in cloud saves. So for me, that and just being able to have all of those classic games on here. For me, I thought the $20 deal for that, let's pretend I play multiplayer games. It covers that too. Anyways, I'm not trying to sell anyone on that product. I don't think the $50 for N64 and Genesis games are worth it to me, especially with the situation that what that controller seems to be like. And I think there's supposed to be I think this comes with a USB-C cable. But what I'll tell you right now is that this feels heavier than an N64 controller. Maybe it felt about as heavy if you had the Rumble pack on there, but it's weighted. It feels like it's weighted more down here than I would have remembered a controller being. But wow, that feels right. That feels good. That feels good. I just wish that the emulation situation wasn't so busted with that. But this is cool. At the very least, right, it'll be something I can put up on a shelf and be like, wow, remember when Nintendo tried this grand experiment and made a console that really, like, the only good games on it were theirs. Now, a lot of people are wondering about this analog stick, and this analog stick, it feels good. It feels like I remember it. But we're going to have to see long term, because with the old N64 controllers, there was always an issue where this would lose its elasticity or whatever. It wouldn't pop back into place like that, at least the ones I had. And also there would be like this weird kind of white dust that would start collecting. I don't know if it was from the plastic wearing down or whatever. So we'll have to see how that does, if that starts starts collecting. I would say I have medium large hands, and so to give you an idea of what this feels like in my hand, this feels good. It fits well. It's as I remember it. And I've seen comparison photos online. It is the same size, but let me see. So let's do the old. Pairing test here. Let me pair it. Let me actually sit down here and pair it to my. Oh, I guess it's back behind here. Yeah, here's the cable. Oh, okay. Wow, I thought it was gonna come with like a really short USB-C cable, but that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's a lot bigger than I thought it was gonna be. This controller is $50. 8BitDo used to make their own N64 controller. I don't know if it was ever something that was. How did this go in here? I don't know if it was ever something that was meant to be played with the Switch or not, but as far as I know, 8BitDo is not producing those anymore, so I think for what it's costing, I mean, it's a $50 controller, so it's going to be up to you. Again, a lot of this comes down to, for me, this was a good deal. But everyone's going to have to decide that for themselves at the end of the day. You know, it's between you and Mammon, who I think is the god of greed or something like that. Something like that. I don't know. I feel like my friend Chris and we used to discuss that a lot. We had a a book that he was writing, but I was helping him plan it out, and there's a character named Mammon in that, and I think something to do with like greed or whatever. Probably do the NSO and it gets more games. Yeah, dude, here's the thing. If they fixed the emulation and dropped it down to $40, I think I'd be all over it. Especially because I think if they've done N64, then Game Boy is way easier, so why wouldn't they just do a Game Boy port collection? Because there's a lot of those games I'd really like to play with the added benefit of rewind. I think that would be pretty cool. Okay, so this is what, like a 4 foot, I guess? 4 foot? So your wingspan is how tall you are, right? So if I do the, yeah, it's probably about a 4 foot cable, but that's just long enough for me to be able to plug it in over here. Okay, got the old USB situation where. Now, will this pair it? Let's see. I don't know if I got to go through the whole thing. If I can just plug it into pair like with some other consoles, or if it will. Let's see what happens. Paired. Look at that. It's as easy as that. And I can control it with this. Now, let's see if I can use it with things that aren't the N64 app. So, like, let's just for giggles, let's open up Dragon Ball Super Heroes. We're not gonna play this. I just want to see what happens if you use this with a game that's not. If you use this with a game that's not a SNES or N64 game. So I'm pressing buttons. That's good. I pressed A. Press A. Okay. Good. I like that. Connect to game server. Sure. Let's connect to the game server. Are there updates for this game? I don't even know. Game start. Now, here's the thing. What are all... Oh, okay. So what are all of the... this is not going to be a good way to test the buttons. And so now there's home button up top. So what are these buttons don't do anything. But they may not have done anything in the first place. So start is plus. We got that ZR. That didn't do anything. Well, it might just be that these buttons don't do anything to begin with. So... Okay, X. We're looking for an X button equivalent. Okay, which it doesn't look like there is one. Okay, so that means there is no X button, there is no Y button, there is A and B, but these buttons don't do anything for that. So you're not going to be able to... I mean, it will function with this game, but you're not going to be able to use it for everything. Like, I would imagine that if there's no X or Y, I'm not going to be able to use this for... What am I trying to say? I'm not going to be able to use this for like Super Nintendo games, which, why would you? This would probably work for NES games, but that'll be about it. Now the home button's at the top, so we'll do that, and then we'll just kind of de-pair this. We can change the grip order here. And, well, I mean, I'll just set that aside, let that start charging. And, okay, well, this is the controller I want. Let me try. Okay, let's turn this back on. All right, here we go. We're pairing. What's going on? Okay, no. It's probably, I wonder if it's because of, try Smash? Well, that would work, I guess, if you don't use Y for, like, short hops. It would depend on how you have that mapped. Actually, hey, that's interesting. Yeah, let's go into controller mapping and see if you can map with this controller. Because if you can, then technically this should work for any game that doesn't require a... should work for any controller that doesn't require... Cannot remap. You cannot remap the... Oh, dude, you know. Dude, you know, thank you for the subscription, my dude. Shouts out. Cannot remap this. So, interesting. Hopefully you're getting your money's worth with this takedown of all the stuff you can and cannot do with the N64 controller. So that really sucks that you can't change the button mapping. I don't really understand why they would prevent you from doing that. That doesn't make any sense. Same way that there's no button remapping in the N64 app either. When you're using whatever controller you're using, any controller, you can't remap it. So, okay, how do I? So here's the thing: I got to figure out how to turn this controller off because it's getting in the way. Yeah, Nintendo doesn't care. That's true, unfortunately. Find controllers. Controllers will be searched for. Well, that's not. Go back. Change. This thing, I think, being plugged in directly here is causing an issue. It's causing an issue. Controller not connecting. Is the controller paired? Well, see, I use my 8-bit DOE for this controller. So we're trying to... So this, I think it's just causing, in general, it's causing... It might just be confusing my Switch here. Let's try this one more time. Or if I can't get this to work, I'm going to have to unplug the N64 controller. So there we go. It rumbled this time. That's not good. It's no lights turned on. Okay. Now it's supposed to show the 1. Okay. Yep. Okay. I think this is causing a problem. Stop. Okay. So we got to do a hard reset here. Just turn off. Okay. See my underlighting. Okay. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so it just didn't like that N64 controller being plugged in. It's causing a lot of issues. So, okay. Well, I think it's time for the main event here. Let's, that was my N64 controller takedown. Earlier review it's nice. I think, I will eventually be using this to play actual N64 games. But for now, it's just going to kind of sit back here. Maybe I'll do another video soon where I will allegedly test it with an emulator. But I don't have all that set up right now. And I kind of want to play Hyrule Warriors. So I think it's time to just go ahead and let's just jump right into this game. So.